So,
Yes.
Adam, we are talking about the prices at the pumps and the fact that it's gone up a bit, and people are already showing concern about the prices. Can you give us a sense of what could account for the jump in the prices at the pump?
Yes. So, good morning to you and good morning to your listeners. The pumps we are seeing as of now, per our projections, prices are supposed to go up by some 5 to 9%. And as of yesterday, our monitoring shows that this has started trickling in as Gold has reviewed their prices. So doing that, doing the 5 to 9%, prices are expected to be for petrol, you'll be doing like something around 13 cedis, 50 pesos. For diesel, you'll be doing 15 cedis, and for LPG, we'll be doing 11 cedis per kg. Two important factors came to play when we're doing the projections, because when you observe over the last pricing window, which is about 2 weeks ago, from 1st January to about 13th January, you would see that the cedi lost about some 9.89% against the major trading currency, which is the dollar, and some marginal increases in the prices of petroleum products on the international markets are the major causes of the upward adjustment we are seeing. That is the two major things that accounted for what we are seeing at the moment: the market performance of the petroleum products and the depreciation of the cedi. When those two go together, all in negatives like that, you see that it feeds into the previous prices and you see an upward adjustment.
From what you said, the poor performance of the city against other forex, is this
Yeah.
likely to go the tangent it's already on?
For now, there's no indication that it is going to come down. But as you know, government policy can affect that. But for now, per the market performance, it's not something that looks like it is coming down anytime soon.
But let's talk about the world crude prices. What are the movements in terms of whether it's going to go up or it's going to come down?
So what happened on the international market is that China has lifted their COVID restriction policy, and that means that industry is coming full stream. Some demands for petroleum products have already come in from China. And also, you remember just about a week ago, the US inflation rates were put out there. All these are some of the factors that influence the prices on the international market, as we see, because the demand is going up and people are dipping the US. The information from the US inflation statistics also means that people's demand for petroleum products are going to go up because industries are coming full stream. The year is starting. So definitely, when the demand begins to go up, you see that prices begin to go up as well.
Let's talk about this gold for oil deal.
Yes.
How sustainable and how much of an impact would it have on our economy?
For now, we can't speak to detail, but right from the outset, we as a policy institute has called out on its sustainability. Because if you look at the amount of petroleum products we consume, diesel, LPG, petrol, at the end of every month, we do about 300,000 metric tons monthly. And the goal for oil policy, as of the information we picked yesterday, was that we received 41,000 metric tons. Even if you average 41,000 weekly for 4 weeks, that is a month, you will not still meet our monthly consumption demand. So we are still not in a very clear position because documents or the contract agreements around the goal for oil policy is not public yet. We've asked media to call on government to speak to it, the details of how much has been negotiated and how much the supplier is supposed to supply. Because remember, it doesn't, petroleum products are not like tomatoes you just cut from the north to the south like within a day. It will take months, it could take weeks, it could take months, there could be delays and all that. If government is really going to sustain it, how much have they secured in the first consignment? Because 41,000 out of the demand I've mentioned, 300,000 is not enough. You can clearly see that. But because the details of the program is not clear out yet. We are not speaking to detail, but the snipers of information we have, when you do the numbers, it is not something that looks possible.
Can it affect pricing at the market?
Yeah, so on this effect on pricing, what happens is that, like I mentioned earlier, for the prices of petroleum products on the international market is the same everywhere. The only difference is the supplier, what we call the supplier premium or the supplier margin or markup. A particular supplier could decide that I'll sell it to you at a discount. That means that lower than the market price. So if government, per the gold for oil policy, is securing it from such a supplier or a refinery at a discount, government can then transfer this discount to what? The consumer. That would only be how we would see its effect on the petroleum prices. But for now, as to its impact on the prices going forward, that is not something you can speak to, because you don't even know the details as to how much government bought it for against the market price.
Now, finally, before we end our conversation, you are asking for the media to call on government for transparency as to the details of this gold for oil. If you, as industry players, don't have a clue as to what this is about, shouldn't we be concerned?
Yes, this is another issue we have with the concealing of information. Sometimes makes it difficult for you to even give better alternative or better suggestions, because if you have the details of what government intends, at the end of the day, we all are working to the betterment of the nation. And so policies such as this, we were expecting that the consultation would be wide, the process would be transparent, everybody will know who is involved, how much we are making, how much we are losing. Then you can make proper suggestion. But if it is not clear as up to now, even when the consignment has been received, we would have been expecting that by now government would make available some details. For aside the 41,000 metric tons, we know very little information is available. But we are sure that if media calls on government would speak to the policy, and that would now inform healthy debate around the good or bad of the policy.
A very important final question. Is this likely to lower the prices of petroleum products at our various filling stations if we get there today?
I think I attempted to respond to this earlier, that the prices, its effect on prices going forward is still not very clear, because we don't have the full-blown details. There are some computations that go in. When you have the details of the whole arrangement, you'll be able to tell how much government is saving or how much discount has government received from the supplier. So when you have that, that will now feed into the computation, and that will give you a clearer picture of what consumers could expect. But for now, we don't see any clarity on that. What we can speak to is we speak to what is happening on the market and what is happening around the cedi performance against major trading currencies.
I'm grateful, Adam Yakubu, that you joined us this morning. He is a research and policy analyst with IES, sharing his thoughts